Good evening, everybody. My name's Tom Stoukas, coming to you from Sarnia, Ontario, December 10th, Wednesday, December 10th. Lots of snow today. I built a snowman. A lot of, it was harder than I thought. Like the muscles got a good little workout from rolling snow. And what the hell? Just this, watching this daily edition of Canada going Canada stories on my X feed. Not very good stories. I had a good line, but I forgot it anyway. And it's on my X feed. I don't look for it. It's on everything. Like it's the situation in Canada. Oh, the dumpster fire. It's starting to get noticed more, though, at least. I'm going to start off. What did we see today? Yeah, this is crazy. Okay. Basically all bad news. I didn't really have a good... I had a good intro and I should have wrote it down, but maybe it'll come back to me. This is crazy. This is like every parent's like worst nightmare. It's like we really the worst nightmare. Teenage asylums. This is in England. Teenage asylum seekers raped 15-year-old schoolgirl in park after she filmed herself being dragged away in footage so horrifying it would cause a riot. Well, yeah. Should have been a riot a long time ago in UK. But these Afghan guys, probably not a good idea to let them into your country because they're a little bit crazy and tribal, and letting them into any country is just not a good idea. And these guys are just teenagers. Are they teenagers? Teenage asylum seekers, yeah, okay. I think they're like 18 or something, but still. Rape's rape. It doesn't matter if they're 18 or 20 or 30. It's horrible. Every parent's nightmare. Like this is stuff that motivates me. Stuff like this, because one rape, like in Europe, they've had thousands of rapes and murders. And my opinion, one's too many. When you could have not had it, like could have prevented it by not having an open border. And Europe today, the European president or whatever the hell she is, the woman, she was saying they want to open up an office in India to bring more migrants from India to Europe legally, of course. So yeah, between the asylum and the legal immigration, we're screwed, totally screwed. Unless something like really drastic is done, it's screwed. And that's the way I look at things. I look at the facts and the long-term trajectory, and that's totally, we're screwed. Unless there's a major change. And I don't see a change. Because we saw the conservative Christmas party too. Oh my God. Asylum is a scam. It's total nonsense. It should be ended completely. What's it say? Now we have every third world deviant on the planet invading Western countries under the guise of asylum. Every asylum seeker should be expelled from the country. Go seek asylum somewhere else. That's in the States, yeah. But they're all going to come here. If the States does a crackdown on, seems every country except for India, but if they do a crackdown, they're going to come to Canada. We're screwed. Even more. And Carney will love it too. He loves these people. Oh, Don Cherry. All right. What's this one? These guys destroying their countries and still trying to go to war with Russia. This Douglas McGregor. He's been right on this Ukraine war from the start. I can't think of any other leaders in political history that are more widely hated and detested in their own countries than Macron and Starmer. Their approval is in the teens. They are globalists and have no real interest in the good of their own nations. And the Merz guy, the German guy, is the same too. Destroying their countries. That's crazy. Look at them. Look at these guys. Do these guys look like somebody you can trust? I don't think so. They look like demons. So yeah, and Carney would sit right perfectly with these guys. He's bros with these guys. Yeah. Here's a funny story in Toronto. I remember when I lived in Toronto, like 2008, or they were talking about Transit City. That was the concept, and I thought that's crazy. You should be building like a subway line every couple years in Toronto, not this LRT crap. And it was a disaster from the start. I predicted it would be a disaster. It is a disaster unless you have transit with its own track with no interaction with traffic, especially in Toronto traffic. Then it's useless. You might as well just put a bunch of nice buses, nice double-decker buses like in England. So this is the Finch LRT opened, and it's like gotten a lot of complaints about how slow it is, gets stuck in traffic, doesn't have signal priority. And I was joking, it gives the crackheads more time to smoke and enjoy the view of Toronto if you're on the bus for 2 hours, or on the train, sorry. Yeah, it's a joke. If you go to any other cities of comparable size and poorer countries, like I'm talking like Eastern Europe, even Greece, very poor countries compared to Canada, but their subway systems are way nicer, like miles ahead of the TTC. So something's going on there. And they're not building LRTs, they're building subways like crazy. We could have hired Elon Musk to bore the tunnels, but instead we canceled the contract for his Starlink, I think. That's their leadership here in Ontario. All right. So yeah, Transit City 20 years ago. It was garbage then, and it's garbage now. And LRT, the Eglinton hasn't opened yet either. That's going to be a mess. All right. This is interesting. I don't know how valid this poll is, November 30th. It says, among conservative voters, do you support Pierre Poilievre staying on as leader? It says 66% say yes. That's if he got 66% at his leadership review, he wouldn't stay on. He has to get at least 75, maybe more. So that's not a good thing for Pierre right there, that number. 66 sounds good, but it's not enough, I don't think. I think Harper got 80 before becoming prime minister. He got a little vote of confidence after losing the first time. All right, next. This guy. This is a crazy story. This India story, man. Just when you think you can't hear another messed up Indian story of immigration miracle, you find another one. This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know if this is a common occurrence in India, but this guy went around to different clinics, I guess, free healthcare, and he used it as an opportunity to expose himself. Drop your drawers, all that. Taking that to a new level. All right, man exposed himself. God damn it. Can't even go to the doctor now without this. All right, man exposed himself. Faked medical conditions at various Mississauga clinics. Police. Okay, I gotta see this here. This is definitely a deportable offense. Definitely. Like, not even like an appeal. Just deport right away with a rubber suit. Put a rubber suit on this guy. A 38-year-old man facing charges of allegedly exposing himself and faking medical conditions in order to get female doctors at various medical clinics in Mississauga to touch him inappropriately. That's crazy. I never want if I can get a man doctor, I'll get a man doctor. It's kind of a red flag to ask for a female doctor. Some Indian dude's asking for a female doctor. I wonder if that's an issue. Maybe they shouldn't let Indian dudes have the women doctors. Or, that would probably work. All right. According to investigators, a man visited the clinics over the course of several months. Several months, man. He said he exposed himself to female staff members. He faked medical conditions, okay. He uses the alias Akash Deep Singh. You cash deep. On December 4th, Brampton resident Vaibhav was arrested. Okay. He's been charged with indecent act and public place, identity fraud with the intent to gain advantage. I don't know. That's weird. Possession of an identity document and identity theft. All right. They believe there may be additional incidents, of course. I'm shocked. Anyway, let's raise the red flag if some dude's asking for a woman doctor at the clinics. Poor women. I always say on the show here that I feel bad for the women. Because the guys, we're annoyed, but we don't have to worry as much about getting raped. Even the women in the clinics, the professionals, are not safe from this kind of behavior. So I feel kind of bad. I feel very bad for the women. The women have been seen a very, let's just say, a little bit of a downgrade in lifestyle quality as a result of the government policies. Deport. We got to deport this guy for sure, man. He's not redeemable. This is a funny story. This is why I've lost faith. There's various reasons why I've lost faith in the I never really had much faith in the Conservative Party because they've never really done anything. And they keep proving it. Now here's Andrew Lawton, who's from close to here, so St. Thomas. And he's trying to be smart at the committee. There's this Bill C9 and basically says, oh, you can't display the swastika or a hate symbol. So Andrew's being smart. He's trying to add the hammer and sickle, the communist hammer and sickle. So he's trying to show their hypocrisy of supporting like left-wing groups. But what he's doing is he's not trying to kill this bill. He's trying to, make it more censorious, like include more things in it instead of trying to kill it. Like, I hate when they play these cute games. Let's listen to what he says. Hold on. I don't think hold on. Anyway, I don't think we should make any of that illegal.
Of up to 27 million, you have in China. So we have raised in the course of our study of C9, study that has been sadly shortchanged because of liberal obstruction, that there are grave concerns with a number of sections of this bill, how it will affect civil liberties, how it will affect, in some cases, the very communities that the Liberal government claims it will protect. And there have been several concerns raised specifically about the section on hate symbols.
Okay, here it
and
goes.
We will be discussing those more thoroughly when we get to the clause at hand. But if we are to, as a committee and as a parliament, enumerate hate symbols, symbols that have vile meaning, symbols that carry a death toll, that often bring up a lot of trauma to various communities, we need to be thorough with it. So I am proposing the following amendment, that Bill C9 in Clause 4 be amended by adding after line 3 on page 2 the following. B.1, the communist symbol known as the hammer and sickle, or B, by replacing line 5 on page 2 with the following, scribed in paragraph A, B, or B.1, that it is likely to be. So in layman's terms, this is adding...
Basically, he's saying, we got to add the hammer and sickle. If you're going to make the swastika illegal, we got to add the hammer and sickle. But he should be saying this bill's unconstitutional. It shouldn't be passed because it promotes censorship and government abuse. But no, he's arguing, like COVID, they're arguing, we got to do more. This is not enough. That's the conservatives for it. Anyway, he's trying to show their hypocrisy, I guess. But instead of trying to kill the bill, they want to add to it the globalist CPCs, pro-censorship. I guarantee they were for COVID. They're really not much different from the liberals when it comes to Ukraine, when it comes to immigration, just maybe on the oil thing, but they're just a useful distraction, it seems, the Conservative Party, because what Andrew was doing there was like, whatever. I don't think it was... This is a good quote here. Weird how people flee from countries full of people like themselves to come to countries full of people like me, and then immediately start scolding me because I'm not more like the people they fled from in the first place. Yes. Basically it's saying we don't want to live in... We want to live in Canada. We don't want to live in whatever country you're coming from. But it's pretty... Apparently it's a hard concept for some people to understand. I don't care anyway. If they don't understand it, I can't help them. Ban all immigration from third world countries, including India. That's that would be my campaign pledge. I'd vote for that. And it's, that way they can stay there and they can fix their country or die trying. All right, that's how countries were built. All right. This is another thing on the Toronto debacle, LRT debacle. Can someone explain to me how Metrolinx TTC spent $3.7 billion on an LRT that is worse than the bus service it replaced? I really don't get it. That's a lot of money for something that can't be... You could probably walk quicker than this thing. I gotta find a video of it. There's gotta be a video of it somewhere. No, that's a GO train. We'll find a video of it. You'd think there'd be a video but I said it's third world Toronto. It's turning into a third world city. Sankofa Square is ground zero for third world city. I think we got the Sri Lankan guy again tonight. He's gonna run into the wrong guy. It's not gonna be pretty. He's a little guy too. All right. This is a good point. The hoax is relation. Mark Carney, that's all he talks about is carbon this and carbon that. It's so annoying. It's like it's all a scam. We know it's a scam. Like, just admit it. Hoax is not climate change. The climate's always been changing. The hoax is believing politicians can alter it by taxing us and forcing behavior changes. The people who continue to believe these politicians can change the climate, are the biggest part of the problem. You are enabling the eventual enslavement of humanity under the guise that carbon is causing bad weather. Yeah, this carbon stuff, it's ridiculous. And instead of building pipelines, we're who knows what they're going to build? Carbon pipes or who knows? I don't know. Carbon capture wells. It's ridiculous. This is a crazy story. Instead of Indian, it's African. This is getting to be a problem. Lots of wars in Africa, and if the States closes up totally to Africa, like Trump's saying, yeah, they're going to come to Canada because we're dumb enough to allow it to happen. Last thing Canada needs is to import tens of thousands of Africans. It's insanity. And it's not like, it's like a totally different culture you're importing. Like, literally, totally different culture. And, whatever. I really shouldn't have to explain it, but obviously the best solution is for Africa to prosper. There's no reason Africa shouldn't be prospering. It's huge. It's got probably more resources than any continent. So, I think they got to work on it. And every time you bring more refugees here, that's less people to fix Africa, for instance. And it's just like a death spiral then. Like, there's nobody left. It's just, but anyway, yeah. Definitely we shouldn't be importing tens of thousands of. I don't want to. This is one good reason. Federally funded study to probe how to provide culturally preferred food to immigrants. So federally funded study to probe how to provide culturally preferred food to immigrants. Program asserts it's a prejudicial barrier that African immigrants can't eat African food in Canada. So it's a prejudicial barrier. Whatever, man. I don't know what kind of food that is. I never go out to eat. Let's go eat African tonight. No, honey. I ordered African. Okay. That's probably why. Because you're in Canada. That's why you can't get African food. Even Greek food. You can't. You can't get good Greek food in Canada. What makes you think you should get good African food? Maybe you can get some good Greek food in the big city and that's it. Maybe back in the day you could, but not anymore. All right. So yeah, didn't say how much. I don't think I can read National Post here. But anyway, this is how the country's run. It's like immigrants, for some reason, at some point they change from "you're lucky to be here, don't mess it up," to "what can we do to change everything to suit you?" Which is, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. All it does is sow division and chaos, and maybe that's what they want, I guess. Okay. This is Greg Wycliffe on the kind of referring to the Andrew Lawton. Okay. Yeah. They say about making a point. The Conservatives were just making a point about the swastika and the hammer and sickle. But they've been making points for 10 years, the Conservatives. And look where it's gotten us. Nowhere. Here's this EU, it's insane. EU President Ursula von der Leyen says to prevent illegal border crossings, we must open more safe and legal pathways to Europe. and announces as part of the new talent partnerships an office opening in India to connect European employers with non-European job seekers, of course. Let's see what she's saying.
Job seekers and their skills.
It's crazy that it's like
And therefore
they
we
hate
must
you.
open more safe pathways, legal pathways to Europe. We must create more bridges between our continents. We must make sure that people can find a job where their talent is needed. Match the skills, bring skills across our borders. And this is at the heart of
That's
our new
Kearney
talent
too.
partnership, which offer work routes into Europe.
And Trump too a bit. He
So
doesn't
far,
say shit about India.
5 countries have signed up to them, and we hope that more of you will follow. This is such an important model to work on. We have just agreed to create a new talent pool.
Okay.
It will match the European employers and their needs with the non-European job seekers and their skills.
Really?
And actually, we're launching the pilot of a gateway office in India,
Of course.
so that this will offer opportunities to work in Europe legally.
Legally, of
And it
course.
could be a blueprint for partnership with other countries. if
Other
we do it
countries.
well.
Why not?
So the point is here. We have plenty of good ideas for legal mobility,
Yes.
but
Legal.
only together can we make this work.
Anyway, I've heard enough. But that can be applied to Canada. Like, they say they're going to make it more efficient, more legal to bring these people, not just from India, but from other countries. So basically, Canada will copy the exact same program, policy-wise. It's ridiculous, but it's like it's set in stone with these people. And this Conservative Party, oh my gosh. Just when you think they can't get any worse and more of a disappointment, they're like the make-beliefs, but not entertaining at all. They have, a Christmas party, whatever. Not really much of a happening Christmas party, maybe because the party's all full of Indians, who don't celebrate Christmas. So this is the Christmas party. What's it say? Christmas on the Hill, hosted by the Conservative Party of Canada. All right, let's listen to this. Hold on. All right, you get the picture. That's a Conservative Party. All right. So basically, you got Van der Leyen saying, we're going to bring more and more Indians into Europe. Canada will do the same. Then you got the Conservative Party, the opposition party of Canada. This is their Christmas party. So it doesn't give you much faith in the Conservative Party or Pierre Poilievre. I think the leadership review in January will be very, very interesting. All right, but yeah, this is his Conservative Party. It's a Christmas party, man. They should be having like a Christmas band. Whatever. They should be having like a Christmas band. They should be having like a Christmas party. But they want to do all this inclusion stuff. That's Conservative Party. They're basically liberals, but blue. Liberals, but blue. Okay. It's been making the rounds, this video. Which Christmas carol is this? That's a good one. I like that. Oh, I want to read some of these comments. Hold on. Oh, we got a lot of shit here. All right. No comments. We got a lot of too much stuff. All right. That's the snowman I built today. Good little workout. Okay. There's Doug Ford. Ugh. What's this doing? First, the federal government. This is weird. This is kind of sketchy to be. I'm a little kind of nervous about this. The federal government wants to rebuild the military, recruit like 300,000 people. Like, it's crazy. I don't know what they're up to. But then you have here Ontario doing Ontario Corps, which sounds a little weird, like a National Guard or something. I don't know. It should be used. We're building a new state-of-the-art headquarters for Ontario Corps to help protect and prepare the province for any emergencies that come our way. This new facility will support life-saving work Ontario Corps volunteers do to protect communities across. So they're building some kind of thing. So it's weird. Just when the federal government's doing their volunteer force, now here we're doing Ontario Corps. Maybe they got something going on. I don't know. Something's fishy that they're both doing it. Danger, I guess, a lot of danger. And I was saying that we should use Ontario Corps for deportations. It's perfect. Give me a gun. I'll apply. I want one of those big assault rifles too. All right. The Sri Lankan dude again. It looks pretty recent because the weather, but I don't know. Sri Lankan creep is now harassing grandmothers. Let's see what he says. I hate this guy.
I need a date.
Oh God.
So you don't want to go
This
on a
is
date
where
with me?
we're important in Canada.
Why? Good looking.
Sankofa Square, formerly Dundas Square. I still consider it Dundas Square, but it technically is Sankofa Square because it's like it's a third world shithole. I was there, and I wouldn't bring my kids there. You got this guy hanging out at Sankofa Square. He's got people getting stabbed at the subway stop there. Let's see what he says here.
I'm a good looking guy.
Great looking guy.
See, there are many women online, on the lineup, you know. I'm asking you, you gave me some cookies, but I don't need a cookie. I need a date. I need a date. I need a date, my friend. I need a date. I want to go on a date. Would you like to go on a date with me?
No, God. Like, this guy's got to go. We got to deport this guy for sure.
Hi, how are you?
Sankofa Square, guys. That's Sankofa Square.
What's this for?
I'm looking for a lady.
Would you bring your kids there?
I want to go on a date.
Well, you're gonna have to find someone else.
What about you? It's Saturday. You know what?
No, thank you though.
I'll go.
This is what we're
No,
importing.
but if you'd like to donate, you can.
What do you mean donate? I need a lady first. Then
Oh,
I will
God.
donate.
This is how they're going to act. And they're going to act this like...
Punjabi guy. Yeah, look at that.
They're going to act like this more and more. More and more. The more they come, the more they're going to act like this. This is Toronto.
But I can dance, but I have a coffee on my hand, you know. Yeah, they're running away, yeah.
This guy does videos harassing people all the time. He thinks it's, I don't know what he thinks it is, but this is downtown Toronto. This is supposed to be Dundas Square where, you know, like the heart of the city, and they turned it into that. That guy kind of represents exactly what it's become. Poor grandma, look at the look on her face. All right, even the grandmas can't go out now without getting creeped on. Okay. Oh, here's that with the African food thing. 600,000. 600 grand. So somebody stole a bunch of money, basically. To figure out how to ensure more African food is made available in Canada's major cities. 600 grand. Oh my God. Disgraceful. Basically someone stole 600,000 and they wrote a thing saying we need to bring more African food to the city. Oh my God. All right. This is an interesting story. Holiday season, eh? Food banks, traditionally, holiday season is one of their busiest times of the year. And people used to give to food banks without, you know, enthusiastically almost. But now, a lot of people are shunning the food bank pleas for donations because basically the immigrants come in, scoop, and they brag about it online, come and scoop it all up, all the good stuff. And Canada, because we're dumb, we don't say, hey, hang on here. Do you really need to come here? No, we just give it all away. So This National Post article sums it up. Food banks struggling, but it's hard to feel charitable when some people treat them like an immigration perk. Yeah, basically that's what they do. It's like free food. It's not free food. It's if your kid's hungry food and you can't afford food, then that's for you. It's not for to save money so you can send more back to India, basically. It's disgusting. Very abusing the system. I'm sure you could do a whole story on it. But it's sad because the food banks used to have good donation, like regular, reliable donations, and now it's like becoming very toxic donation-wise for food banks. So that's another thing ruined in Canada, because the food banks were pretty well run. Now they're in crisis mode. All right. Next, these dudes. These are the guys at the Queen's Park. They're like basically camping there, saying because they'd rather be dead than go back to India, basically. And they're here on the some kind of Ontario visa program for skilled trades, and apparently all of them were deemed fraudulent. So now the Canadian government wants to kick them out, which is great. But you see, they don't want to go back to India. You have to like drag them with and put them in the plane physically. Look at these guys, and they don't. It'll be interesting to see. It's not in English either. You'd think they would do it in English, but they're talking to the MPs, the Indian MPs in Canada's parliament.
ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਮੇਟੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਐਮਪੀ ਤੇ ਐਮਪੀਪੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਭਨੀਤ ਸਰਕਾਰ.
They don't want to go back to India. So they're mad because I guess their certificates got revoked. I don't know. It's all fraud, of course, scammers. They probably paid the money, but there's so much scams going on. It's like crazy. Like, if they don't get in this way, they'll get in another way. It's that crazy. All right. There's the Conservative Party again, the Diwali party. Sorry, Christmas party, Christmas on the Hill. What a joke the Conservative Party is. Why is our political representatives, this is Wired, Christmas on the Hill. Why is our political representatives always involved in the destruction of our cultural norms? Yeah, it's not rocket science. A Christmas party should have Christmas music. It's not rocket science. Oh, let's belt out the Indian to show how inclusive our party is. Let's see it again. Anyway. And that's it for today. The daily file on the destruction of Canada, I suppose, on my X feed, otherwise known as my X feed. I don't look for it, it finds me. So next broadcast will be December 11th. And we'll see what other crazy stories come up on Third World Canada files. So until then, have a nice night.